What's going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a great day. So my video for you guys today is going to be films that are held in a really high regard by people. Very popular films, or popular in a certain type of community, that I personally don't share the same feelings on. Now, most of these are films that I do like. I just don't love them. When we start getting to like the last 3 or 4 films, those are going to be films that I genuinely just don't like. But for the most part, these are films I like quite a bit, most of the time, but they're just films I don't love like a lot of people. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one we've got here is SpiderMan Homecoming. When this movie came out, everybody was saying that this was the best Spider-Man film. No, the fuck it's not. But it is a good film. This movie is a good action film. I just don't think it's a very good Spider-Man film. It doesn't work for me as a Spider-Man film, but it does work as a fun action movie. And these Tom Holland Spider-Man films are not that bad, especially No Way Home. But this movie, it's a very good action movie. It just doesn't work for me as a Spider-Man film. Alright, next, we got one that's very popular in the horror community. We've got The Strangers. Another movie I like. But, man, when I was little, I was young when this thing came out, and I was always told how terrifying this movie was. And I think a year later, I sat down and watched it, and I really didn't find it to be that scary. A lot of people were saying this was a terrifying film. It was just a very average 2000s horror film that I do like. It's just not as good as a lot of people would lead you to believe that it is. And the sequel, The Prey at Night, wasn't really that good either. But this movie, it's good. It's just, it's not worthy of it. The label as being a fucking terrifying film. It's really not that scary, but that's just me. Alright, this is going to be the one that gets me in a lot of trouble. I like this movie, people. I like it. It's a very good movie, The Dark Knight. Very good movie. Very good crime thriller. Even a very good crime thriller with Batman as the main protagonist, even though he's not even really the star of the film. It's the Joker. And Heath Ledger gives a knockout performance. But I think this movie sometimes can forget that this is a comic book movie and doesn't need to be taken seriously 100% of the time. Because I find that this film lacks a lot of the comic book charm. It's kind of, and I understand what Christopher Nolan was going for in all 3 of these movies. I like this whole trilogy. But these movies are devoid of humor, essentially, and I kind of felt that the new Batman had some decent humor in it while still being serious, but I don't know. I've always found this movie to be overrated. I never thought that Christian Bale was the best Batman. I don't like the, where are they? Where are they? I don't hate that. It's just that it's not my favorite. This is just not my favorite Batman movie, essentially, and I find that a lot of people really, really praise this movie. And my biggest problem with it's not really a movie is that this movie is not flawless. But if you try to say it's not flawless, man, they come down on you like a nuclear bomb. This movie does have flaws. It's not 100% perfect, and I wish people would stop saying that it is. But it is a good movie. The Dark Knight, I like the movie, and that's the last time I'm going to say it. Because every time I have some sort of criticism for this movie, I get shit on and told that I don't like it when I do. But it's just not a movie I love. Right. Another one that I just never really understood the hype for, Sinister. This good movie. It's a very good movie. It's just, when this thing came out, people I went to school with were seeing it, and they said that they were shitting their pants and pissing their pants, and they couldn't sleep. They were pretty much hyping this thing up to be the next Exorcist, and it really was not. It's a good horror film. It's a fun horror film. It's got some disturbing shit in it. I like the whole snuff film that the ghost was setting up. The ghost sets up the camera, and there's the snuff films, families being murdered. I like the whole tree branch hanging. I like all that stuff. It's just that this movie when the movie focuses too much on Ethan Hawke, I like Ethan Hawke and all that, but his character and his family and all that aren't really all that good. And I think when they put the focus on the family, it loses me. But when you bring the guy that looks like Mick Thompson from Slipknot, the Ghoul, I think is what he's called, or the Boogeyman or something like, I don't remember what he's called. But when you keep the focus on him, the movie's fine. It's just when Ethan Hawke and the family is the main focus of the scene, they really lose my interest in this movie. But it is a good movie, just not one I love. Alright, here's one. Zombieland. Like this movie quite a bit. I do really enjoy this movie, but damn is it ever overrated. I didn't find a lot of the humor funny in this movie. I did like a lot of the zombie kills and all that. I liked the blood, and Woody Harrelson could be funny, but I am really not that big of a fan of Jesse Eisenberg. I love Emma Stone, and I even like Abigail Breslin. It's just, why did they have to make Jesse Eisenberg the main focus in this movie? I like him in some movies. I really liked him in American Ultra, but most of the time when he's the main focus of a film, I really just don't care for it. He's just not a guy that has a wide range. He just plays the same characters all the time. He's always this really awkward, really dorky guy, and I just can't really get past him in a lot of movies, and this happens to fall victim to that. But like I said, I like this movie. It's just not one I really go out of my way to watch a whole lot. But yeah, Zombieland's not a favorite of mine. Alright, here we go. Pearl Harbor. I don't really know how to start this one out. Okay. When there's action scenes going on, battle scenes, this movie fucking kicks a lot of ass. When it focuses primarily on this bitch, I don't even remember who plays her. Who is it? Kate Beckinsale. I don't even like Kate Beckinsale as it is. Her fucking character in this movie is she's a total fucking cunt and a bitch, and she's not like a mean kind of, she just, her character really pisses me off in this movie, and it really drags it down. And I've never really been the biggest Josh Hartnett fan in the world, but I do like Ben Affleck in this movie. It's just this movie is really long. It's really long. It's 3 hours long. And I always find myself struggling in the middle of this movie after the Pearl Harbor bombing scene. I just always find myself really struggling with this film. And I like Pearl Harbor. I don't even know if I like it. I think it's just okay. It's not that great, but to me it's okay at best. So yeah, Pearl Harbor, not one I really love. Alright, now we're in films that I just genuinely don't like. So, I tried with these. I really tried. They're actually the two It movies, and I don't even have this thing taken out of the saran wrap. Not the saran wrap, whatever the fuck it is. The cling wrap, whatever the fuck it is. The seal. I don't have it taken out of the seal. I tried with these movies, guys. I really tried. And I have read the book, and I have seen the miniseries with Tim Curry, and I think that one is infinitely better. I just really can't get through these. I don't like the way it's directed. These movies are, I don't like the way they're directed. I don't like the way they're acted. It feels way too, what's the word I'm looking for here? Modernized, even though it's supposed to take place in the 80s, and these things came out when all that retro 80s stuff was getting popular again in the mainstream, and it just was really, when that was going on, I found it very obnoxious. I didn't find it clever. I just did not find all that stuff, that resurgence of 80s stuff, enjoyable, and this movie plays way too much on that. And the second film is, there's some things in that second film they did kind of change from the book that didn't make a whole lot of sense. And it just really drug both these movies down for me. I don't like these newer It films. And from my understanding, they're doing a part 3, and I don't know how, when somebody can, we'll be okay whenever somebody can explain to me how they're going to pull that off. But, yeah, I just don't like these movies at all. Alright, this is one I had to fight with myself for years. Halloween 2018. When I first saw this thing in theaters, I came out disappointed. I saw it a second time in theaters, and I think at that point, what I was doing was forcing myself to like this movie, and also forcing myself to like kills as well. And I got to a point where I just couldn't force myself to like something that I didn't truly like anymore. I was done fighting it. I'm not scared of the Halloween community, the Halloween fanboys anymore, because they think that this new Blumhouse Halloween trilogy can do no wrong whatsoever, when it's mainly done wrong, if anything. It does a couple things right, but I think this movie is better than Kills, obviously, but it's not better than John Carpenter's Halloween, and it's not even better than H2O. So how I really feel here is that this was all false advertising. This movie is false advertisement. They told us that it was going to be a direct sequel to the original film, and they told us that it was going to carry over all those elements of the Carpenter film into this, and it did not do that. It was too gory. There was no atmosphere whatsoever. They changed all the dynamics of how Michael Myers operates. They have the stupid doctor conducting the bus crash. It's just, that's not what John Carpenter's Halloween was. And this thing, I think, is more of a slap in the face to fans of that film. But they want you to think. They tell you that. They beat you over the head with that even before this movie came out. They beat you over the head. This is the true sequel to the original film. And that's just a very condescending way to act towards the sequels, which most of them aren't any good either. But this movie right here, they want you, and there's the plot here is paper thin as well. They want you to think that there's more going on than there actually is. There's really not anything going on in this movie. Oh, yeah, Halloween 2018, that's my real opinion on this movie, and my opinions on it, on Kills, are even stronger. So, Halloween 2018. Not one I love. Alright. Dunkirk. I'm sorry. I sat and struggled with this movie in the theater. And I tried it again not all that long ago. And I'm sorry, man. This is just not a film that I like at all. And it sucks because it's very well directed. It looks beautiful. Even this cover is a really awesome cover. And there's a lot of good stuff in this. There's good stuff in this movie. It's just, for me, there was way too much shifting back and forth in this movie. And I know what they were trying to do with this movie. I got this movie. I get what they were trying to do with it. It just didn't work for me. It's not something that I enjoyed watching. So Dunkirk is not a favorite war film of mine. I know this is a very popular one and a lot of people love it, but I'm not in that camp. So, alright, here we are to films that I really, really, really don't like. Man of Steel. Wow, this was a train wreck of a film. And this is a very divisive film in comic book movie fandom. This is either a film that people that like comic book movies, you got this side that love this movie and think this is one of the greatest comic book films ever made. And then you got people like me that thinks that this movie is a total train wreck and abomination. I really, really hate Man of Steel. There's nothing in this movie that I like, aside from the cool battle or fight scenes. And the IHOP scene was kind of cool. My arm's starting to get tired, that's why I moved it. But Man of Steel, holy hell. This is one I really struggled to get through in the theater, and I don't even know why I have it. I think I got it in some kind of yard sale box or something like that. I don't know, but when the hell did I get this? Or no, I must have recently got this one or something. I don't remember ever having this one. I don't know. I'm sure if I go back and watch my collection update videos, I'll probably see it in here somewhere. I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember. That's how much I don't like this movie. I don't even remember when and how I got it. It's on my shelf. I don't ever watch it. So, like I said, I couldn't even be asked to remember when I got it and how I got it. So that's how insignificant this thing is to me. Yeah, it's just a really bad Superman film. They get Superman completely wrong in this movie. That is not how Superman should be portrayed. But that's how Zack Snyder wanted to do it. And Zack Snyder, aside from Watchmen, Zack Snyder is not somebody that me and him, we don't gel when it comes to films. Alright, we got 2 left. Here we go. I'm going to be shot for this one. Troy. Never liked Troy. I've never, ever enjoyed this movie. Every time I've tried to watch it, I struggle with it. I hate this damn movie. I can't stand fucking Brad Pitt's portrayal of Achilles. The only redeemable quality for this film for me is Eric Bana. And Eric Bana. I really like Eric Bana as an actor. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. He can't even save this damn thing for me. People love the shit out of this movie. I just don't get it. I'm sorry. I really don't get it. It's just my opinion, obviously, but wow, this movie for me, is just really rough. Really, really rough. I believe there's one scene where you can see an airplane flying over the fucking Brad Pitt or whoever it was the shot was involving, and it just really, really, really took me out of the film. I think that's what happened. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I haven't watched this film in forever. I may have just dreamt that for all I know, but maybe I should give this one another watch. It has been quite a while. But yeah, no. Troy, as of right now, is not a film that I really like. And last but not least, 30 Days of Night. This is not anywhere close to being the best vampire movie of all time. Lost Boys, greatest vampire film of all time. You can make an argument that Fright Night was, or the Dracula movies from the old days, and not this. Not this. Some of the acting for me is a little not all that good, as well as I don't find the vampires here very intimidating. I never have. The trailers never sold me on this thing, and I know it's based on comics that I haven't read, but I would like to read them. Maybe it might improve this movie for me a little bit if they have any kind of connection to this movie, or I don't know anything about the comics other than I know they exist, so I might seek them out and it might improve this movie for me, but as a standalone movie, this thing just really never, ever satisfied me. Ever. I don't find the vampires scary. I didn't find a lot of the acting to be that good. There are some good cinematography moments. Like I like all the nighttime stuff, and I like the scene where Josh Hartnett injects himself with the whatever it was to make him turn into a vampire, so he's able to fight Danny Houston's character, and then he at the end of the movie, he just fucking starts disintegrating and shit like that. That was cool. It's just the rest of this movie is a huge struggle for me, and the rushed ending, the rushed battle scene, it was just so rushed. I'm like, man, you could have had something really cool with this battle scene, but they wanted to rush it. But yeah, this movie is just not that. It's a failure to me. It's something that could have been good though. This movie really could have been good. And then I haven't seen the sequel, and I've been told to avoid it at all costs. So that was my popular films that I don't personally love myself. So what did you guys think of the video? What are your guys' popular films that you don't care for all that much? Leave it down in the comments. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.